guys, I'm Layla. Welcome to raidlore Stories. Today's lore story is going to be for Shu-Zhen the Valorous, brand new champ. She looks amazing. I'm recording this live on Twitch, and Twitch does commenting how she does. She looks like Mulan. She looks like Chun-Li. Like, I really like what they did with her. I've not read her lore story, so it's going to be brand new for you and for me. So let's check it out. Rumor mongers theorize that Shu-Zhen the Valorous, the so-called extra soldier, is a thrill-seeking scion of a wealthy family. In this, the rumors are partly correct, but few would believe the truth. Shu-Zhen the Valorous is no less than the daughter of the sovereign Timu. Known to nearly everyone as Lei, she is something of an idol, warrior-trained and strong-hearted, the court beauty, and a coveted, choosy potential bride. When Lei was young, her father Timu told her tales of the rebellion, some 80 years old. He was busy in his duties as one of Yokkai's 3 ruling sovereigns, but out of martial pride and a sense of history, he made time to raise his daughter and ensure she trained at arms and study the principles of harmonious common decency that the anti-Makaj rebels promulgated. Lei grew up around soldiers, for Timu's seat as sovereign depended on support from the Yokkai's military elite. Lei assumed that she would join the army as well, having been seemingly reared for the role, but tension over the subject built as Timu repeatedly deferred the decision. Lei decided that her father wanted her to be raised as a soldier, but couldn't bear to make her one. When she confronted him, he cited safety as his reason for hesitating, but she accused him of wanting to control her. Brooding on their argument, Lei concluded that it wasn't her physical safety her father feared the army would risk, but her political utility. Either she would secure a marriage alliance, or she would be expected to mount a campaign to succeed her father as sovereign when he aged. She dreaded having to pay politics for the rest of her life, and became repulsed by her father's hypocrisy. Had he trained her to don armor and wield a spear, never intending her to use those skills, but merely to burnish her image? After years of feeling as if her purpose was denied, Lei had had enough. She snuck out from her luxuriant quarters in her father's mansion to the nearby armory, pilfered an anonymous, inconspicuous spear and armor, and hid her face with a silk scarf. She made her way into the city, acting the part of a patrolling guard, and it thrilled her. But her true goal was to fulfill what she saw as a soldier's purpose and help someone in need. And on her second excursion, she got her chance. Lei came across a raging street fight between 2 gangs, thugs smashing each other through storefronts and flinging furniture. Dozens of constables were arriving to subdue them. As a chaotic 3-way fight raged, many guards who were involved later reported having been saved from danger or dragged wounded out of the fray by a comrade who then disappeared into the melee. Given the intensity of the fighting, they could not recall exactly which of their fellow guards did the heroic deed. But as the reports were compiled alongside the testimonies of apprehended brawlers, the constabulary were puzzled by the many overlapping claims of an unknown person dressed and acting like a soldier, fighting with considerable skill. Everyone involved thought, in the moment, that they were looking at someone who turned out to be elsewhere. Lei's ambitions grew. She told Sovereign Timu that she would be traveling the land visiting the estates of potential suitors. This pleased him, so he did not press further. Thanks to her father's access to Yokkai's top military planners, Lei learned of an expedition against mountain bandits and secretly intervened. Again, reports after the battle accounted for a mysterious extra soldier. Growing bolder, her next venture was to fall in with an expedition patrolling the Mistwood border. When she was questioned by the commanding officer, she identified herself as Shu-Zhen, a recruit recently, whose paperwork had been lost in transportation. The suspicious officer promised to get to the bottom of Shu-Zhen's sudden appearance, but before he could, the patrol was attacked by a rabid dire bear. Shu-Zhen charged the beast and ran it through, saving the captain's life. After this, the captain's suspicions were allayed and she was hailed a hero by the soldiers. However, she'd given a name, and that name was eventually attached to the extra soldier by gossips and state intelligence alike. For some of Yokkai's soldiery, the name has become a rallying cry. As scrutiny on her grows and Shu-Zhen walks a dangerous tightrope, she is determined to continue. If she's exposed and scandalizes her father, so be it. As much as she enjoys her freedom, Shu-Zhen will relish the day when her father learned she was out putting her fighting skills to the test and growing a legend of her own right under his nose. Okay, so yeah, this story, again, initially, like I had said, is that her design did remind people of Mulan. So it looks like in some ways they kind of took Mulan's story, I suppose. Guys, drop me some comments below what you think for the story of Shu-Zhen, and thank you so much for watching.